have you heard anything about Toronto and their want or desire, or if they want to upgrade the blue line and who that possibly could be? I know a guy like Klingberg. I don't know if he's out there, but just what kind of avenue or which way they're going to go, or what are you hearing?
Yeah, no, I mean, there's definitely that word out there, that, they want to spend a little bit of attention to the blue line, but, you also want to think bigger picture. When you're looking at the unrestricted free agent guys like Klingberg, Josh Manson doesn't seem to be getting a lot of love out there on the trade market. I don't know. His name, for me, should be near the top of the list, to be fair.
Well, maybe it's because Anaheim's good and they don't want to move him.
But Anaheim knows that they're going to have to make some bold decisions. Now, do you have a conversation with Manson, of course, before you trade him? Yeah, I mean, I think he's entrenched there. Would they like to keep him? Probably. What's the price? All of that stuff. But there are other guys. Benny Sherratt, could you make that work? I've always been a fan of Ben Sherratt. I think he can play the game in so many different ways. I'm not going to. I touched on it briefly in Insider Trading last night. I don't want this to be a headline, but Toronto is among the teams that has at least expressed some interest in Jakob Chychrun. And again, that's not breaking news. You would expect that. Oh, my fire alarm just went off. Yeah,
that's not good. Can you get out of there? Are you okay, Dregs? I don't know if you can hear us.
No, I'm okay, but I'm standing as far away from the gas stove as I can be. So it's not my fault. Let's just establish that for the record. I'll keep talking about Chychrun real quickly.
Well, I don't know if we can pull this off. I mean, maybe you had to send us a text.
We'll read it out.
Yeah, we'll read off your text.
Oh, my.
It's all good. It's all good.
Kick tires. They kick tires. If there's a chance that they can be creative, maybe, but it's unlikely. How's that?
Okay. All right, buddy. Go take care of your thing over there. Take care of your
call
house.
The fire? No, I'm kidding. All
right, buddy. We'll do it again soon. Thank you. There's Darren Dreger, Hockey Insider. I didn't really get where these were going. Chychrun, I guess there was maybe a call.
Kicking tires, maybe a call. I mean,
Chychrun,
we'll see.
I like that. I like that idea.
Before his house burnt down, I think he said the Leafs were sniffing around on Chychrun.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the Leafs. I mean, we've talked about it a lot. That's the primary focus. I think we know that. Question is what kind of big game fishing or big game hunting do you do? Who do you go after? And you potentially try to acquire multiple guys, which wouldn't surprise me.
I agree. Here's the thing. It's hard to judge, and this is why you go to some of the analytics and underlying numbers, because Chychrun statistically has not had a great season. And he hasn't been available some games, and you look at it. But is he the type of defenseman that would make this, like the Leafs, you would covet for a second pairing guy? He scores goals, he's got a big shot. How good is he defensively? Is he strong physically? Certainly is. And would he play the right side along Jake Muzzin? Like, you have to acquire a fit, maybe not just the best player available.
Noodles, I'm not Babcock where I'm obsessed with a lefty-righty. But I think it's maybe time to bring in a solid right-handed player. They got enough left-handed defensemen on this team.
I guess that was my point. Is Chychrun, by all accounts, is a really good young defender. Scored lots of goals and got a big shot, big strong guy. Is he the right player for your team? That's my question. Whether it's Toronto or whoever else is kicking tires on him, because if you're Edmonton, yeah, absolutely. Second pairing guy or even top pairing, depending on where you want to slot him with Nurse. But, is he comfortable as a left shot playing the right side? Not every guy is like that. TJ Brodie has been great because he played with Giordano, and that was the way that he settled in. Josh Manson, you guys know, I've talked about him before. I think he's a hard player to play against, and that's what you need. Guys not shy to drop the gloves. I haven't looked at his numbers recently, but I my gut instinct is that I think he still can give you really good minutes, and I don't think he would be a king's ransom. Might be on display tonight. Who knows?
That's
maybe
kind of the guy
maybe
that
gets
I think
rinsed, and you're like, okay,
like
maybe
yeah,
boy,
exactly.
you don't want that. But I
later.
watched him. I've watched him 7 or 8 times this year, and I've liked his game. It may not be flashy, but you're not looking for flashy. We talked about it the other night. That Ratko Gudas, he's a he's a hell of a player for the way that he plays. And that's what you're looking for is the perfect fit in a scenario.
There's enough flash down there. There's enough flash.
Well, I'd like somebody who is physical, who can advance the puck and still skate. Because that's, if you get a big lug that can't skate, now you're just going to get rinsed on a team that likes to be fast.
The thing is, every team that's going to the playoffs is probably looking for the same thing. And that's where it becomes, that next layer of conversation where the Leafs have given up, a lot. They've traded a lot of draft picks. They haven't had first round picks a lot recently, and they've gone all in. Year in, year out for the most part, and they haven't had anything to show for it. But I don't expect their mentality to change, and I don't think it should. Just because you got burned last year, that doesn't mean that the reasoning behind it wasn't sound. And I don't think Dubas will think that way. That it's you got to drastically change your philosophy because the Nick Foligno deal burnt you in the past. I think if you feel like you can go on a run and they believe in this team, which they do, then you've got to supplement the pieces that you've got. And if it costs you a price, it costs you a price. Now, you can't get silly. You can't sell you can't trade like a drunken sailor and just throw everything at the wall. You've got to hold on to some assets, and clearly they prioritize certain pieces over others. But I think you got to get in the dance for sure. And I expect that they will. I don't think Dubas has never been gun-shy.
That's what I mean. He's not going to be gun-shy just because. And the Foligno situation, like the guy had an injury.
He got hurt.
We never knew what he was really capable of. They didn't play long enough, and he wasn't available to them. That's really what it is. But, you still have to continue to swing for the fences. So, the next opportunity is grabbing a guy that you believe is going to help your team. When they acquired Foligno, I don't think there was anybody that was like, no, I don't like the price there. I don't think
the comparison was Taylor Hall. Remember that Hall went for a lesser price. Should you go get Hall instead of Foligno, who plays differently? But yeah, I was a supporter of the play for sure. I
think we all were. I think
we
like Nick. We think he's a great player, and I think he was a right fit. As far as philosophy on paper, it just didn't work out. Injuries and the Leafs didn't go far enough. That's it.
You can't allow that to change your approach.
That Nick Foligno, man, he's been battling injuries too. I think he's been hurt 3 or 4 times this year. He's having a tough go.
That's where he is in his career. He's a guy. Yeah, exactly. He's not a burner on the ice either. He's a guy that's got to use his physicality, and he plays in the corners and in front of the net. If you're banged up, you're not going to be the same guy.
No.
And that's pretty clear.